Hey everybody, it's Curtis, the Wordy Nerd. I'm back again, and I've got a different kind of unboxing video I'm going to do tonight. Um, for those of you that have been following this on Facebook, you already know about it. I'm really excited. Earlier in the week, I placed an order, well, I guess a little over a week ago at this point, I placed an order for some molding and casting supplies, and I missed them on Friday. They tried to deliver Friday. Nobody was at my mom's to pick up the order, so they took it back with them. We had to do it as a signature because some of the neighbors over there just couldn't be trusted. They would have seen a box like this sitting outside, and there would have been no box. So, but even though today is Columbus Day, here we are, UPS delivered as promised. So, the contents of this box should be a brand new kit. Probably, I guess, about what they call the sample size kit of Hydrospan. Now, what you see down here on the table in front of us, these are 5 molds that I've put together and made. My Marvel Legends collection is missing some 6-inch superheroes that I would love to have in there, and that's the Power Rangers, alright? The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the originals. The American originals, anyway. The actual Power Rangers goes back to like the late 70s or something from Japan. Fun trivia facts for you. The original Yellow Ranger in the Japanese Power Rangers was actually a guy. When Trini became the Yellow Ranger for the American version, even in the Japanese cutscenes, they still used the original footage. So when Trini is running around fighting as the Yellow Ranger, it's not really Trini. That's the original guy. That's why the Yellow Ranger didn't have on a skirt like the Pink Ranger did. So some of my deals and purchases have allowed me to obtain Yellow Ranger's head, Red Ranger's head, the White Ranger. That was Tommy after the Green Ranger, which in the original series, the Green Ranger actually died, did not just become the White Ranger, but had died. But the White Ranger here, the Tommy, and then the Blue Ranger, and the Black Ranger. So we're still waiting on the Pink Ranger and a Green Ranger head to arrive, so I can make some molds of those. And what we're doing is, these were from the Automorphin Power Rangers, so they're small. They're not 6-inch scale really, and the bodies are. I'll just be blunt. I hate the bodies for them. They just don't look right to me, and I need them in Marvel Legends compatible scale. So, we've made a mold of each of these heads. And when I open this box here, I'm going to pull out a kit of Hydrospan. So, without further ado, let's see if these needle-nose pliers can help get us in there. These staples are about all that stands between me and getting this project further underway. So the company I ordered from has a really simple name. It is Industrial Polymers, and they have the best customer service I've dealt with so far. They're just great. Their tech guys get on the phone. They'll talk you through whatever questions you've got. I mean, it's just an amazing company, and they have won me over for life. I'll put it like that. Any supplies that I can think of that I need, I will be going through them to obtain in the future. Especially if I can't get it locally. I do prefer to support local businesses, but I get most of my supplies from an art store down by VCU, and the guys down there are great too. They get me stuff at a bit of a discount, which helps. Because, as most of you know at this point, I'm dirt poor. So, that's my wife giggling in the background because she knows it's true. Alright, I'm going to use my X-Acto knife here and slice into the material data safety sheets and stuff. Material safety data sheet. Alright. And then the package list up here. using my X-Acto knife. Typically you would cut away from yourself. I'm cutting toward myself because I'm not going to cut that far. And I'll remove that just so I can try to get to that other staple down there. There it is. Alright, so I've had an interesting weekend, and well, week into the weekend. I don't know about you guys. We listed some pieces on eBay for sale, custom action figures, and I had one customer that was, I don't know how to describe it. They were playing around, really. 30 feedback, you expect them to be good, but what they did was they placed the bids and then refused to answer any questions, anything. Now, opening this up and finding a whole huge thing of foam like that worries me a little bit. You know, every horror movie I've ever seen goes wrong with the guy being a jackass and putting his hand straight in something. I won't be that jackass. Popsicle sticks for mixing and stirring chemicals. Okay, it looks like what they did is they used a liquid foam to anchor the box to make sure nothing splashed around inside of the box. So it's probably not that bad. You need superpowers and special training to get into this sucker, but I'm trying really hard not to make a huge mess while I do this. But anyway, so this guy gets on eBay, orders, commits to buying my custom snake eyes, refuses to answer any emails, won't respond, nothing. You know, so opening the box, we find more staples. Yes, that is my wife that won't get away from the camera and while she's laughing and giggling, but oh well, that's fine. When these guys pack a box, they really pack a box. They made sure that nobody was getting in this rascal without it being real obvious, that's for sure. So that was the first part of it. And we fought with this guy in eBay. eBay wouldn't cancel the transaction. The guy or girl, whatever, the fake account responded back, oh hey, sorry, I'll pay right now. That was Friday night. Today is Monday. Of course there's no payment still. So Ashley got on there and she made eBay cancel the transaction. So that was the good news on that one. Other sales this week were pretty slow. A few things sold between last night and this morning though, so that was kind of good for us. We need that. Waiting on those payments to come through though, because I have more stuff I have to order, some stuff I'd like to ship out. Alright, now I don't know how well the camera is getting in the box right now, so you guys can't really see that too much. But these guys, like I said, this whole liquid foam thing is really funny in a really messed up kind of way. I'm going to end up having to clean the floor after I deal with all this stuff just to get it out of the box. So let's see. Alright. And now we're down to the last couple of parts here, it looks like. If I can just super shrink that out. Okay, well it looks like this is not quite what the guy and I discussed, because I'm pretty sure he told me there was a 1-to-1 mix. But it looks like in actuality it's a weight mix. So the good news from that is that I own a digital scale. Nothing for illegal purposes. Yes, that is my wife trying to tell me that no, I left the digital scale, but so surprise her, I actually have the digital scale. I planned ahead just in case. Alright, so We're gonna ditch that. So here we go. Some Hydrospan 100. Try and get that a little closer so folks at home, if you're interested in trying any of this stuff, there we go. I'm going to demold the original heads here, and hopefully all the molds worked out like they're supposed to. I'm going to start by using my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to slice the edge of my cup. That little satisfying snap meant that the ridge broke, and I'm going to peel the cup away from the mold now. And that's going to let me remove the mold from the cup. I'm going to give it a quick finger inspection around. Alright, so now I can use my X-Acto knife again, this time carefully cutting away from my body the entire time. And I will trim off the excess edges of my mold. Alright, now the only reason I'm doing that is really for cosmetic reasons. It doesn't really serve any real purpose in the actual work, but when looking at the mold itself, not having all of the flash around it will make it a little bit more interesting, more obvious what's going on. So we're going to start by removing Billy's head. The face is pointed up, so I'm going to actually go in from the back of the mold, from the back of the head, and I'm going to make an incision all the way down to the head. And I'm going to slice along the neck. We're going to peel the mold open. I'm going to set the knife down so that I can show you a little better. When I peel that back, I'm going to press from the bottom and kind of work the head out. Alright, now this kind of mold is pretty good. It looks like it filled in some of the inside of the head, so I'm going to gently let that pull out, and I'm going to go ahead and stretch it just a little bit, and I'm going to use the X-Acto knife and sever it very carefully. Now, because of that piece there, I'm going to have to stretch the mold a little more, pull that little neck hole tag, and there we go. And that's going to help the actual casting come out a little better when I'm ready for it. So we're going to do the same thing we just did to Billy, to Zach, Jason, Trini, and Tommy. That slice through the cup and tear the cup really gently. These little cups that I use to make these molds are your simple little Walmart brand sauce cups, I think is what they're specifically called. Alright, same thing, the face is down at this end, so we want to go through the back of the head. And the reason we want the back is because if that line from the mold opening is on the face, you'll see that it's going to make a small line on the castings, because this stuff is so precise that it really is a bit of a pain in the neck when it comes time for casting, because it's too good. Alright, so same problem here. Those holes are there. I probably should have used something to try to plug the holes, but honestly, at the point at which I was trying to get this done, that really was not what was on my mind. So I'm going to once again, very carefully, very gently, saw through that. I'm just going to go ahead and tear it and pop that out. Now, I'm going to go back later on and remove all the flashing from these, but I want to get this done so that you can see what I'm doing here. Alright. Now, once this is all set and all of the heads are out, I'm going to give the Hydrospan a run. And before I do that, I need to read through all the instructions, and I'm not going to do all of that on camera. I'm probably boring enough as it is, so watching me read paper is not something I'm going to make you do. Alright, let's get these rascals freed from the cups. And if you can see that, pretty much all of the heads are pointed this way. Now Trini's head here got really close to the bottom. I didn't put as much in this mold, in that cup. So when it comes time to remove hers, I'm going to have to be very careful not to do damage to the actual mold itself, because damage to the mold can't be repaired. That will lead to another mold being made, and that leads to wasted money. Alright, so once again, Tommy's is at an angle as well. So I'm going to cut around the outside of the back of the head, and I'm going to make a small angular circular incision around the back of the head. Alright. Now, I tend to keep my fingernails a little extra long because it helps me when I'm sculpting, but when removing stuff from molds, it's really impractical because my fingernails will just shred right through it. Alright? Very much like Sabretooth or something. Alright. Now I'm going to cut this video short here, and we're going to set up prep for the Hydrospan pouring process in just a little bit. So you guys hang tight for me and check out the next video.